What's up, Throdle? Do you want to check out a super rare Italian-built right-hand drive Alfa Romeo? Then keep on watching, as today you're in for a ride. Hi, I'm Nadine, the co-founder of Throdle, and today I'm in the UK with Shan.
Hi guys, this is my 1968 Alfa Romeo 1750 GTV, and I'm going to tell you how much fun it is to drive.
Very cool. So why don't we start first with, why is this one so rare?
So this is a right-hand drive car, as you can see, and in the global world where most of the people drive with a left-hand drive car, but more importantly, this was built in the Alfa Romeo factory in Italy. In the 60s, they used to send these to South Africa in boxes, containers. All the parts would come in different sections and they would reassemble them in South Africa. The Italian ones are rarer, and they do say that they're better built cars as well.
So did Alfa Romeo do that for cost purposes?
They say it's for cost purposes and also for tax purposes as well. It was cheaper to get the car into South Africa. And those South African cars did end up going all around the world as well. So if you want one, try and find an Italian built.
Okay, awesome advice. So is this a GT?
This is a GT, but actually it's a GTV, which means GT Veloce or GT Sport. It just handles a bit better. It was more of the 60s hot hatch for the Italians, basically. Designed by Bertone, who is a very high-end Italian designer. So a lot of the styling, you'll see familiarities with Ferraris and other cool kind of Italian cars of the day. The Ferrari 330, this has taken a lot of influence from that car as well. So it's like a smaller version.
So this is the successor to the Giulia Sprint, right?
Yes, so the Giulia Sprint was an earlier car based on the older model, which they made basically a fast version of. So there is kind of some family history there. The earlier GT, which is the famous one, was also known as the step front, which basically had a really unique design where the bonnet would then stop here and then the front of the car would start a bit lower. So it would give this mean kind of eyebrow look. It also had one big headlamp on either side rather than two headlamps. So there is a distinct difference, but there is also a lot of resemblance as well. This is a little nod back that in some of the modifications that I've done, the Italian and French racing cars had yellow inner lights.
Right?
Exactly.
Okay, that's what I thought when I first saw this.
So that's why I've done that. And a lot of people in the Alfa Owners Club do the yellow headlamps. And believe it or not, it's legal in the UK. It's not against the law to have yellow headlamps, so there's no issues with that as well.
Okay, so one of the modifications you've done is the wheels, right?
Yeah, so the wheels, these are wider 7x14 GTA wheels, which the racing cars used to use. And I've also gone for a wider tyre, but it's really hard to find a performance-orientated tyre, so I had to find these Redsteins, which took a long time to get, but I got them in the end.
Okay, so you did some changes to the wheels and also to the suspension.
Yes.
Did you do any type of tuning?
Yeah, so the engine has better carburetors on it, which I can show you.
Sounds good, let's see. Ah, you open it this
way.
Okay.
This one's in the front. So they are more performance orientated, but more for reliability as well. These carburetors, believe it or not, the Alfa Romeo factory used to put 3 different carburetors, and the Del Autos are the best ones, which this has. It also has 2 brake master cylinders, which really enhances the braking of the car as well. Again, to highlight the fun and the handling aspect of it. And then for noise, everybody likes noise, so it has a straight-through exhaust system, so it sounds a bit raspy as well.
Okay, but how fast can it go? Because it's a very slow car.
Yeah, they're not, you know, these are really not fast cars.
Yeah,
it could probably do 110 miles an hour downhill.
Whoa,
It really is for handling, for driving down country lanes and taking corners and just really enjoying driving at lower speeds, basically.
Love the wood paneling and over here.
It's funny you notice the wood paneling, because what people do, they always cut a hole here and put a radio in.
Oh no!
So everyone you look at will have a modern radio stuck there, but this car doesn't have a radio because it sounds so great, it doesn't need a radio. The steering wheel is also original, so these always get damaged and broken and they all start cracking. This has really stood the test of time. This is called a Hellebore, which is an Italian brand that make a beautiful steering wheel. So it's a really nice thing to hold.
What's it like without the power steering? Is it quite heavy?
It is. You drive in a different way, so you tend not to stop and turn. You always make sure the car's rolling so that it helps you with the steering. Yeah, it is heavy, but it adds to the feel when you're driving the car.
Okay. Is this also new for this model itself? It's rather large.
Yeah, so these two were changed to the two bigger ones. In the earlier cars, they were a bit smaller, so they've just made them a bit more functional. This is quite a cool feature as well. This is a smoking window, which, yeah, so if you don't want to, if you're smoking, you can extinguish your cigarette out the window, basically.
Now, this being 51 years old, there's got to be a lot of quirks to this car.
Well, it's not even of the car, it's the quirks of an Alfa Romeo.
Okay.
So the fuel gauge and temperature gauge don't really work all the time, so you just need to realise if you're driving along, that isn't right, put some gas down, it will tell you the right figure. Everything's a bit funny. You can see that these were built in an Italian factory in the 60s, and it was all built depending on how the guy was feeling at the time. There was no machines or robots were making these cars. It's really driver focused, you know, so I don't know, everything's kind of geared towards the driver. It's very much a fun kind of driving car where you're really involved with the car rather than being a passenger.
Out of all your car collection, what would be one of your top faves?
It's tough because what I want out of a car always evolves over time.
True.
So, you know, when I was a bit younger, it was about speed and noise and how loud it was and how much attention it got. But now it's more about class. I do love old Ferraris, you know, so anything from the 60s or 70s would be the ultimate.
Very nice. How about a GT250?
Oh, who doesn't love one of those?
I think you're missing a couple million,
yeah, well,
but you know, I mean,
yeah.
that would be the one that I would like to
Look, if one comes up, let me know. We'll take it for a test drive at least, you know.
Well, Freds tend to be really posh
Yeah.
and really wealthy, and we'll give it a go.
Yeah.
Thanks, Shan. I had a really good time in my first Alfa Romeo.
Oh, no problem at all.
How can people keep in touch with you?
Well, look, if you like the content, then click the like or share button. And if you have any questions about the car today or anything that we talked about, send us a message on Throdle.
Please subscribe to our channel and hit the bell so you get notified when we upload something new. And meanwhile, thanks for watching, and join us next time as Throdle's driving connections and fueling experiences.
Thank you.
Thank you.